Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. I was just enjoying this beautiful daisies outside. They are so delicate. But main reason for me being here is that I've been shopping, again buying plants that I don't know where to put them. But I bought a beautiful crepe myrtle, and it looks purple in this card, and I think it's supposed to be like a sort of a purpley pink. And it's so lovely because it's got so much of height, and I was lucky that I got such a big plant. It um, it was a plant wholesaler, so it wasn't too expensive, and I love the crepe myrtle bark. That's why I wanted to get one. And yeah, you can see it's nice. It's got a nice straight trunk as well. I won't trim it or anything. But the problem is, I don't know where to put it. I originally bought it with thinking I'll plant it in the front yard, but after I left it here, I like it here. So I don't know. I have to make a decision where I'm going to plant it. But I just want to share that lovely purchase. I don't know if I made a lot of. No, I don't think I bought much this summer. So this was well deserved purchase. I don't know. I was going to check if I did buy. But the other one that I bought was this Japanese maple. It's a Mikawa Yatsubusa. It's supposed to get these sort of the leaves that just like stacked onto each other and so pretty. Um, it wasn't expensive at all because I think nobody was buying them. Got a little bit of the leaves are a little toasted on the top there. But even this now, I don't want to put it in the front yard. I don't know. Decisions. But the job that I'm up to today is my feather grass. You remember I had it in the front yard? This was where it was. I had these two pots out by the stairs. And I brought them out and I kept them in the backyard once they died off because these are summer growing grass, or so they die off here in the winter. And yeah, so I brought it in the back and I just left it here because they had just been growing and it wasn't the best plant. It wasn't so healthy out in the front. But after this spring and summer now, it's got so many plumes. It didn't have this much last year. Well, I only bought it last year, last season. When was that? I think for last May 2025, and it was a new plant. So I wanted to put that out in the front yard again, and I was thinking of planting my violas, and then I saw that all the viola babies or seedlings have sprouted underneath this plant. Now, I had violas in this pot when it was out in the front yard, and the seeds have probably fallen there because the viola seeds they do fall so easily. Yeah, they obviously fell over the time they were growing there, and they've now sprouted. So I instead of I need to still plant some, but I thought I might as well use these that have sprouted on their own. And you can see some of them are quite large, and there's quite a few all around the grass because I had them planted there, and it's so lovely when they grow on their own. And while they were out there in the front, I did collect the seeds as well because I wanted to plant them, for the next season. So I collected the yellow ones that I had. I had the yellow and the purple. So that's what it had was looking like. So you can see I had the purple violas around and the yellow, and I love that yellow. It's called a baby grand gold. So I tied these little bags, those little gift bags. I tied them around the flowers that were drying, and so when the seeds popped, they could collect in the bag. Because these viola seeds, I tried tracking them and I thought I'll go and cut them every time, but before I got there, they just split open and all the seeds flew everywhere. So I started tying these bags around the flowers that were wilting just so that it dried in the bag, and then this is how I collected the seeds. So once they dried up and they opened up the seeds, opened up from the seed pod, they fell into the bag. So I collected them, and I've got the baby grand gold, I've got the purple, and I've got the white that I also grew in the front yard. But the pot with the feather falls, no, the fountain grass. So this pot had the yellow and the purple only, and I'm not sure. I was actually going to plant mainly the gold, that's the yellow, and the white, but I got no control over this. So whatever sprouted here, I'm just going to make use of it. And I've taken out these little seedlings, and I'm going to plant these in the long pot in the front. So I'll wait and see if they're all yellow, that will be good. So if you remember these pots, I had all the white flowers in here. And, there's probably some seeds that fell into these pots. I've just kept the same soil, and I just topped it up. And you can see here from these images of last year, this white is so beautiful. They're like little fluffy butterflies. It was stunning. And it's called popcorn white. It's so pretty, and it's got that little yellow tongue in the center there. It's so pretty, that contrast of the white fluffy petals around that little bit of yellow. It was so fresh and beautiful, even through winter and through spring. So if they come up in these pots here, what I want is these two long planters, I want them to be full of the yellow violas. So those baby grand golds. So I want these two to be stunning, full, a massive planting of the yellow. Now, as I said, I don't know what sprouted on its own there in the pot. So I'll just plant them here, let them get big. And when I see the color, and if I know it's a purple, then I can just separate it and just only leave the yellow in these pots. So for now, I've got some free sprouted plants that did the work for me. But I am going to still plant some seeds. But yeah, I'm going to use these nature's gift to me. And when it's a massive bowl of yellow, oh, I can't wait to see what it looks like. It'll be so gorgeous. So you can see that's that. I'll water it, and I will plant it underneath, or I'll just put the trays, these planter boxes, underneath the maple so they're shaded. Look how beautiful that baby grand gold was. It was so bright in winter. So I'm going to plant the seeds that I have into this cell trays. So I got them from the mondo grass that I bought. So I've got 10, there are 10 cells in this one tray, and I'm going to plant one of them full of just the baby grand gold. And the second tray, I might just split that between the white and the purple. These seeds are so tiny and so finicky. I'm trying to do one seed per tray or per cell. It's so tiny. Hopefully it sprouts. I realized I missed one of the cells. And I just put a label so I'll remember what it is. And so that's yellow. And then the other tray, I'll just split it and do one row of purple and one row of the white. And now it's February, so it's the end of our summer. I'm hoping it'll sprout maybe late autumn or mid autumn, and then we can have this beautiful color. And that's that purple. So you can see what the purple looked like. It wasn't too bright, um, but I suppose if I take care of it and feed it, it should be beautiful as well. I'm just using what I have. Violas are cheap, but anyway, I've got the seeds, so I might as well use it and see what happens if I'm successful in growing it from seed. Right, yeah, so it's all there. I just need to give it a good drink. I'll water it gently, and hopefully it grows. And yeah, so I brought the grasses. As I said, I was going to bring them to the back, bring them to the front yard. I've put them here right at the top now, and I'll leave them there because I'm just planning other things for the bottom of the stairs. But you can see the plumes are so pretty. They are so much fuller, or much more full than last year. Still not as lovely as I've seen, and I suppose they do best when they're in the ground. And you can see I've put the cell trays underneath the maple so they are not in the harsh sunlight. We do have some hot days coming up, so I don't want them to dry out too quickly. And these planter boxes are okay here. I just put some sticks over it so the birds don't scratch it out. I don't know, you know, these birds, they come and do all kinds of nonsense here in the garden, so I'll just put the sticks. Hopefully they don't pull out these little tiny seedlings. Yeah, and I hope you enjoyed this little video of me planting all my viola seeds. And there are still quite a few seedlings in the pots with the grass, so I'll leave those to grow and see what happens. They can sprout and grow, but I'm going to have that mess of yellow in those long pots. So I shall leave it for there for now and say bye, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I shall catch you next week. Bye.